This is the Horizon Editors Roundtable for the week of November 5th, 2007. Tonight we're going to be talking about the difficulties of finding a job in the field of study that you're actually trying to get a degree in. In our case, that would be journalism, which is a competitive field, but there are other fields that you have difficulties with if you just get a bachelor's, like psychology or philosophy or something along those lines. So we'll be talking about the kind of problems you run into trying to find a job after you finally graduate, if you ever graduate. So, what are your guys' plans for whenever we get out of here? I mean, you know, we're probably going to graduate around the same time. So, what are you going to do when we have to go out there and do something with ourselves?
Well,
panic.
For me, yeah, I'm gonna panic, but also, you know, I want to be a game journalist, so I'm speaking louder because I've noticed on previous editors roundtables you can't hear me. So, I want to be a game journalist, so I'm probably gonna have to do at least a year or more than a year's internship at a magazine or somewhere out in California. So I'll move out to California and pretty much do what I'm doing now, except, you know, more and still not make money for it.
And beg money from your parents.
Well, I'll have a job too. You know, I work for Apple, and they've got a lot of job opportunities in California. So.
By the way, are you allowed to wear that shirt?
Why'd you say that?
Anyway,
there's no official logo on here. It's on the side.
Anyway,
who says I am one of those?
But you know, when you're looking in the case of, you know, us, I mean, you know, you're looking at a field where if you start working in newspapers, you're looking at a grand total of $25,000 a year with a degree that we've invested, you know, a quarter of our lives into, and that's kind of scary. I mean, you know, to know that you've worked so hard on, okay, except for you.
But half my life, so.
But, you know, sometimes it's awfully difficult to get worked up over a field where you know you're going to be below the poverty line tax bracket.
Well, and we talked about this last semester. Becca wrote a column about it, and that, you know, you get out of college and it's hard to find a job because the requirements are ridiculous.
Yeah.
The requirements, you know, ask for things that, you know, experience that no one out of college is going to have. You know, we've got experience working with the programs. We work with these programs all the time. You know, we know how to write, but they're asking for, you know, 5 years professional experience. You can't get a professional job if you don't have 5 years professional experience, like with all these job applications.
Well, I mean, it's like applying for a credit card. Nobody wants to give you a credit card without a credit history.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a credit history, how the hell are you supposed to be able to get a credit card at one point or another?
Right.
Well, I guess the deal is when you're first starting out, you can't expect to get exactly what you want. You're probably going to have to move to some state in the middle of nowhere with some rinky-dink small-town paper, you know, where you'll be reporting on, you know, whose cow just had a baby. You know?
Planning and zoning meetings.
Yeah, you're probably going to start out that way, and, you know, if you're willing to do that, then you might be able to work your way up to an area you do want to live in. But I mean, I think just the nature of journalism is you're going to make a lot more sacrifices in the beginning than if you just graduated from law school where you started 80 grand.
I think it's one of those fields where, you know, since you're the rookie, you're the one who gets all of the really bad work that nobody else wants to do.
Yeah, you know about that, right?
That's,
yeah,
you know what, though?
exactly.
That's not just this field. It's
true.
related fields, but my girlfriend works at an advertising firm, and she gets all the garbage jobs, too, because she's fresh out of the boat.
Yeah.
She's not really. She's been working for over a year, more than a year now, but, you know.
Well, I mean, that's like
It's like that a lot of places.
Yeah, when I did an internship for a newspaper, I remember, you know, I was the one who they sent out to planning and zoning meetings. And if you've never been to a planning and zoning meeting, if you want something that is going to just put you to sleep better than any kind of prescription drug, just sit in one of these for about 15 minutes and have someone drive you home because they're just ridiculous. I mean, they start at like 7 in the afternoon and they last until sometimes midnight, depending on how many plans they've got to look over. And nobody wants to cover those. That's why they send the newbies out to those kinds of jobs.
Dude, you totally just went Dax Flame on us there.
Yeah, I did.
You were just, and this and gosh! And
Yeah.
go back to Dax.
He's right.
Oh, I can believe it. I mean, I haven't reported like you guys have, but
Well, also, I'm sure it's true for most careers that you're starting out in, but, you know, you're going to be as successful as the drive that you have. You know, if you're not going to go after the jobs, if you're not going to go after the internships, if you're lazy about it, you're not going to get anywhere.
Right.
You know, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to stay at the small town paper. You know, you just have to try. You have to work really hard.
And I agree that working hard in any field is really valuable and really important to be able to do. But at the same time, you start looking at other students. I mean, if you look at probably the median salary range that a lot of students start off making after they get a bachelor's degree, I mean, it's close to twice as much as, what a journalism major would make after they get their bachelor's in journalism, if they decide to go with newspapers or another publication. And it just strikes me so unusual that a field that, and you can read into this however you want to, is so important for communities and for people who want to know what's going on around them, that these jobs that are so valuable are paid so little, and that's really a shame.
Welcome to the real world. What do teachers get paid? Teachers get paid chicken scratch too.
Yeah.
If we didn't have teachers, we would all be idiots. So that's what happens. The people who do all the important work get paid nothing. The people who do all the crap work that means nothing to the world for the most part get paid millions of dollars. The guys who sit on their butt all day and repeal people's homes, crush their credit history, put them into jail, things like that, they make all the money. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't need to be done, but if I think we all understand that if we wanted to make money, there's somewhere else we could have gone. We're doing this for ourselves, not for the money.
But I don't think journalism majors, would necessarily be asking for like 6-figure salaries or anything like that.
Right.
I think
we just like a little more equality in the workplace.
Yeah, something livable would be nice, and there are ways to live off of that kind of money. And it's nice that we live in an area. Yeah, that's one way. But it's nice that we live in an area that does have such low cost of living, and it is manageable on that kind of salary. But at the same time,
you're never going to own a house either.
That's true.
That's
true, unless you marry someone rich.
Yeah. So get a sugar mama.
You just told everybody that you're going to be a poor journalist, and you said marry someone rich. This guy. That's like, don't marry this guy. Stay away from me.
No, I'm saying take care of me.
Oh, take care of you?
Scouting out the rich ladies, Scott.
I need a mommy.
I got one of those.
Yeah.
She's all right.
Journalism has got to be a field that you love to be in, but it's a very versatile field. Like someone was saying earlier, there are a lot of different skills that you learn that can carry over into other fields, not necessarily just reporting. Mm-hmm. Layout can be used for many avenues. Former editor is doing a newsletter for a chemical company, right? And she's making fairly good money. And so, you have a degree, you have to find something. But like what we started on is finding something that you love might not pay the money.
Right.
Not really, just that I don't really have a plan to continue in journalism, but my plans are just to stay in school for a while. I want to go to grad school, but I do think, not that I don't respect and love journalism, I just don't think it's what's best for me, but I have learned a ton.